Hey everybody, Bucky and Clever here, letting you know that we're not hosting this episode.
This episode is being hosted by Goldie, Minty, and Sky, some friends of ours from the Will at Homestuck Discord. Hey, join the Discord. This also marks a bit of a change in the podcast. While some details are still being ironed out behind the scenes, we're planning on expanding the Will at Homestuck team in a few ways, including hosting episodes made by other folks, if they want us to.
We believe pretty strongly that the Will at Homestuck IP should be open to everybody, so this marks the beginning of the push to decentralize Will at Homestuck as a show and as a community.
Going through us isn't the only way to make Will at Homestuck content, though. We want to be absolutely clear that you don't need our permission to take this concept or form and make it your own. You have our full support. You're always welcome in our community.
We hope you enjoyed this episode on Cats 2019.
Content warning. This episode of Will at Homestuck includes discussions of sex work, fat shaming, strong adult language, Vriskcourse, and dangerous levels of Cats 2019. Listener discretion is advised. We'd like to extend our thanks to Silva Breath, I Think You're Pretty Cool, John Washburn, Danny the Spoonlord, Fleece, Starshine, that's me, and Kylo Ren, the Will at Homestuck $5 and up patrons for helping out the show. Our theme song, Sunbanger, is by @_tittle on Instagram. Lastly, I'd like to apologize for my sound quality since I was recording this on a dank gamer headset. Hopefully it only contributes to the chaotic energy of Cats. Enjoy the episode.
This is a controversial change from original Cats canon to Cats squared.
So there's been a cat scratch is what you're saying.
Welcome to Will at Homestuck, a podcast about applying Homestuck theory to things that aren't Homestuck. Or are they? Find out. This is Starshine. I go by she, her. I'm at @sperigi on Twitter.
Hi, my name's Minty. I use she, her. You can follow me anywhere if you are of age at D&D eGirl. I have fanfics on AO3. I'm D&D eGirl pretty much everywhere.
Are you an e-girl though?
Are you?
Yeah.
What does it mean to be an e-girl?
It means to take pictures of your titties. Or you can find me at my Homestuck account where I do nothing but stand Vriska at Vriska posting.
Oh, I forgot about the Vriska posting.
Yeah.
I have made 2 Vriska fan cams. No, they are not ironic.
And they are your main claim to fame.
I'm gonna have the content warning Vriska this episode.
Oh my god, yeah. We're already so early and we got the Vriska counter.
Go, Goldie.
Yeah, my name's Goldie. I use she, her, and you can find me both on Twitter and Tumblr at Druidcraft Creations. I make handmade, homemade dice, and I also talk about RPG stuff. Support your local food bank. That's all I have to say.
So why are we doing this?
Well,
why are any of us doing anything in life?
Yeah, why is this a thing? What happened? What went wrong?
Well, I made a joke about the first guest episode of Will at Homestuck being Cats 2019, and then thought to myself, this is so hilarious that now it has to happen.
Yeah, so one of you made the mistake of trying to class-spec Skimbleshanks as a Prince of a Heart, which is literally the worst possible thing you could class-spec Skimbleshanks as, so we had to go on the record to correct that.
It was a joke, and I now see the error of my ways. Skimbleshanks is most certainly not a Prince of Heart.
How dare you even think that Skimbleshanks would be a Dirk Kinney? How dare you?
2 days ago, I did not know what the fuck a Skimbleshanks was. I did not know that he was a railway cat. I did not know that he was just lazy on the train. I have been
and now
enlightened.
You've come out so much wiser.
You haven't seen Cats before?
Never have I ever before seen Cats. I've never heard Cats. I have a family member who is completely into musical theater, and constantly, apparently, I asked her later, that she had constantly sung Cat song all the time. Me? Never remembered a single one.
How dare you? Cats is full of, and you've learned this, filled with so many genuinely good songs.
I may or may not have the Endgame song of Mr. Mistopheles stuck in my head, and I have been belting it out all day.
Which is correct.
Yeah, see, the problem is, like, there's like 2.5 cat stands on this podcast. So, like,
Mhm.
probably a lot of you are out there, listeners, our dear listeners, all three of you. Am I allowed to make jokes about the listenership of this podcast since I'm like a guest? I don't know.
You took it over. It's yours now. This is our boat now.
This is our podcast. It belongs to us. Clever and Bucky, sorry, taking over the narrative.
These are the 3 listeners. They're on the podcast right now.
This is the Will It Homestuck epilogues.
Yeah.
We're the only people who listened, and now it's our podcast now. Hi, I'm Dirk.
I even forgot what I was going to say, but okay, Kenny.
I've been diagnosed with heart player. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so if you've been on the internet for more than, I don't know, 2 months, you were probably around when Cats 2019, the preview dropped, and then the actual thing dropped, and then the internet fell over itself to dunk as hard as possible on Cats for as long as possible. So you might expect it to be sort of us dunking on this, but I think I think I speak for us all when I say we love this dearly. This is part of us. This is our new fandom now. And be excited for our next podcast, Will It Cats 2019.
Friendship ended with Homestuck. Cats 2019 is my new best friend.
Now let's not get too hasty. I'm still digesting the cats, thinking about the cats. All I know right now is that Cats 2019 stole 2 hours of my life, and I let it steal 2 more hours of my life again.
Yeah, you watched it a second time.
I did in fact watch it a second time. This is true and correct. Why did I do that? I don't know. I didn't. The only thing that changed was who was the Vriska.
Oh my god, incredible.
Here's the thing. The more you watch Cats, your appreciation of Cats increases, I would say, exponentially.
Absolutely.
I've watched Cats 2019 truly an embarrassing amount of times. I want to say it's closing in on the 10 mark.
Have you?
What? Why?
That's incredible.
Why would you
Wait,
do this
it's been
to
out
yourself?
like 6 months.
Yeah,
no,
okay, here's
no,
the thing.
it can't have been out for 6... No, oh my gosh, it has been. Holy...
Oh,
It's May. It's gonna be May.
It's gonna be May. Oh, yeah.
So you saw the original musical online, right, Goldie?
I did, yes. I watched the musical after I watched the movie of Cats.
Okay, so we have 3 different perspectives, because I had a friend about a year and a half ago when the first preview dropped. He sat me down. He's a huge fan of Cats, the musical, for years because he's a huge musical. He's basically Harry Anderson. Anyway, he loved Cats, loved the musical Cats, and sat me down and was like, you need to appreciate this because you are a connoisseur of hot garbage. I read Homestuck for you, so now you're going to watch Cats, which is an even exchange.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so I watched the whole musical is online on YouTube. I highly recommend it for everybody out there. Just search Cats YouTube. Well, you probably might get drowned out by this horrible monstrosity. But if you look around a bit, you can find it. It's worth it. It's great. It's incredible. I became the biggest Cats fan. I have a cat Sona.
Excuse me, what?
I will ask to know everything about this cat.
Oh my god. I'm making jokes that I can't commit to. I don't actually. God.
Listen, I have a... Excuse me, I'm sorry, you're a furry? Because I'm a bird furry. I have and will commission art of your cat Sona.
Wait, are you... I'm also a bird furry, though. Wait, seriously, like, I didn't realize we were both... Yeah, this is a fun thing to happen live on air. I would give you a high five through the internet.
I didn't realize
Yeah,
this.
you're surrounded by bird furries.
I'm not even a furry. I'm just here.
Why do you think I go by feather wings? Like...
Oh my god.
Oh, damn, you are a bird furry.
I'm a bird furry all the way down.
You can see us becoming better friends on this podcast.
This is the magic of cats. So anyway, yeah. So I watched the YouTube video, and then when the movie dropped, me and all of my furry gay friends, I repeat myself, but so me and all my furry friends went and saw it live in the theaters. and we loved it so goddamn much. I stuck Ziploc baggies full of booze in because I didn't have any small bottles and we weren't going to do this sober. So
That's the way to do it.
yeah, so we made mixed drinks with the freestyle, and we were singing along in the theater. Like, the person in the row in front of us had their phone out for the entire back half of the movie, and they were like, "Oh, these motherfuckers," and we're in there. I don't know, but yeah, so we were singing along. It was honestly one of the best. Like, it might have been the best theater experience I had in all of 2019, just because of me and all of my friends just enjoying this dumpster fire. Which it is. As much as I'm a defender of Cats, Cats 2019 is not great as a piece of movie.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. I'm still stuck on the fact that somebody was probably searching Twitter while Skimbleshanks the Railway Cat was playing. How do you miss that? How do you look away from the screen when Skimbleshanks is on there? I was petrified. Not petrified. I was hypnotized by the cat when Skimbleshanks came on.
That's just the power of Cats. It is magnetic. But continue.
Yeah, so anyway, for more context, if you've been living under a rock, Cats 2019 became a bit of a meme online. People dunked on it. A lot of people went to see it not expecting anything and came away with terrible impressions. So I have a spicy take. So sound the hot take alarm.
Wee.
You know when like cishets make fun of trans people and they have like one of two jokes and I'm not going to repeat them, but they're just really not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the internet made fun of Cats, but they didn't make fun of Cats 2019 in the right way, right? So everyone was like, "Oh my god, why is this horny? Why are these cats horny?" But those motherfuckers, like, sorry, am I allowed to swear on this?
Allowed to swear.
Okay, cool.
Swear,
yeah, so
go
those
for
motherfuckers. Cats is incredibly horny. Cats 2019 is like 1/5 the horniness level. They butchered my baby in the interest of being straight, and I have not forgiven them.
In the song Rum Tug Tugger is a Curious Cat, I noticed this on the second time, is that one of the cats say, "I think he's been neutered recently." And they're right. I saw the original Rum Tug Tugger song. He has been neutered. He is not horny at all. He was like, if that is, we'll say, a baseline horniness, Rum Tug Tugger's original horniness is like 10 million times that.
Yeah, seriously. If you go look at any song in Cats, go look up Rum Tug Tugger's a Curious Cat, and just to see him hypnotize half of the cast with his incredible pelvis.
Exactly. If you don't have your character just radically thrusting their hips, well, I'm sorry, that's just not the quality Cats experience.
Honestly, is like a perfect segue right into our first segment, class-specting.
Hold up. Yeah, we should do the plot.
Yeah.
Because there is a plot.
We forgot to tell you about the movie because we were so excited.
There is a plot, and I mean, like,
is there?
There's something resembling a plot.
Yeah, so in the original one, there is the barest framework of a plot. Like it's like porno movie plot. It is clearly an excuse for a bunch of cats to get together and sing a bunch of Cats songs. But for Cats 2019, they were like, well, there's not enough plot here. Like, people need to have a plot. So they created a plot. Why don't you explain the plot? Because you're the one who is new to this.
So, from what I can see, is that Victoria who is kind of like the June Egbert of the film. She is just kind of like thrust in there. She's thrown in the beginning. She's Victoria. She tries to get into this place, but all these Jellicle cats start aggressively singing at her, telling her about what Jellicle cats are and how she is not a Jellicle cat and that she needs to have 3 names. Transsymmetry? I don't know.
Yeah, so they literally let the cat out of the bag. So Victoria's in a giant sack where she's rescued by all of the cats in Cats.
But she's not a Jellicle cat.
And what is a Jellicle cat?
I'm glad you asked.
I'm going to be honest. I have been thinking about this the entire time, and I have some theories.
Go
a
off.
Jellicle cat is just kind of like cats that follow the status quo. They have like this huge, long spiel about what a jellicle cat is at the beginning, at the end. And in the end, I have come to one conclusion, is that being a jellicle cat just means that you are following the status quo of cats. Therefore, being a jellicle cat is just capitalism.
Huh. I had the opposite interpretation. I thought being a jellicle cat is embracing who you are, kind of going against the grain. But now that you mention it, there is a lot of weirdly capitalist, both undertones and overtones in the movie. I'm not sure if it was...
Guys, they're cats.
Yeah.
They're just cats. They're literally just cats.
Just
a jellicle
cats.
cat is every cat.
Well,
Every cat is a
no,
jellicle cat.
because Victoria isn't a jellicle cat. She says, but I'm not a jellicle cat. And then old Deuteronomy, like halfway later down in the film, says, not yet.
See, this is a controversial change from original Cats canon to Cats squared, effectively.
So there's been a cat scratch, is what you're saying. Maybe the Cats universe
I
went
hate you.
undergone
I hate you.
cat scratch.
We
here.
have the new Cats protagonist come in.
Yeah. So
Wait,
anyway,
Shit. Is Victoria the Jane of Cats 2019?
No, we have to get out. We have to do the plot.
We have to get to the
I'm
plot.
sorry.
So here's the plot.
sorry.
So here's the plot. So Victoria gets dumped out in the middle of a street, in the middle of an alley, meets all of the jellicle cats. All of the jellicle cats sing about the jellicle choice, which is a chance for the cat to die and be reborn as they wish. So we already do have like good trans themes here. And then all of the cats go into their cats routines because the jellicle choice is made by like a talent show. Except one of the cats, the devious McCavity, runs around kidnapping cats with magic so that when it comes time to make the jellicle choice, he's the only cat around. So he gets to be the jellicle choice and gets to be reborn. So all of the cats sing their cat songs about how cat they are. And then they have like a little talent show. And then the whole thing is waylaid when McCavity steals old Deuteronomy, the cult leader cat, who is the one who actually makes the jellicle choice, who is played by Dame Judi Dench, because we're in hell. Actually, I think she was a great casting choice. I really like Dame Judi Dench.
She
absolutely.
was really good
Yeah.
at Deuteronomy, surprisingly.
Yeah. So she chooses one of the cats, and in the movie, spoilers for Cats, she chooses the old, neglected, sad cat, Grisabella, who's basically spends the first half of the film being hissed at and being rejected by all the other cats for being old and ugly and maybe hanging out with evil cats.
This is only more ammo to the fire that is being a jellicle cat. Is just conforming. Because I don't want to get a little controversial here, but she's kind of like coded as if though she was a sex worker.
I agree
mean, she's
with you on
definitely
that point,
dressed up
but
like that.
I think the message of Cats, in the end, Grisabella is accepted. Although you could argue, like, there's some weird coding with Victoria coming in and, like, changing things because she is the first one to accept Grisabella, but there definitely is that kind of... There's themes of status quo, either conforming to them or breaking to them as you see it.
But in a lot of the numbers, a lot of the, like, all the cats sing about what makes them really special and unique. So you might have Busterford Jones, whose whole deal is he is fat. That's his character. And his whole deal is, like, he's not one of the cats. He is the fattest and roundest of cats. And that's why he deserves to be sent to the Heaviside layer to be reincarnated. So, I mean, I'm going to disagree with you on this. I really think being a jellicle cat is about doing what you want. Just like being a cat in real life is all about being a petulant asshole at all times.
See, that's where my thoughts go.
Yeah,
Back to the plot of Cats.
I think that was the plot of Cats.
Did I miss anything?
There's a plot?
I don't think so. We miss Skimbleshanks
Yeah.
the railway cat, and that is a crime. Skimbleshanks
After...
is a railway cat, Rum Tug Tugger is a curious cat, and Jenny Anydots is a Gumby cat? I don't know what that means.
You guys, you missed the emotional core of the movie, which is Magical Mr. Mistopheles. I hate to break it to you.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, so using the power of magic and friendship and believing in yourself, Dame Judi Dench is rescued, ? And then we already covered the Jellicle choice, correct?
Yeah, Grisabella.
Yeah, but did we mention that McCavity, falls to hell? That does happen. I did not just imagine that.
He falls into a statue of Napoleon Bonaparte, which is especially funny because they call him the Napoleon of cats.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So if this all sounds a little bit confusing, it's because it's really not the point. The whole thing is a framing device, basically, so that they can have all the songs. So Cats, when you're sitting there watching Cats, most of the time you're going to be watching a song about one of the cats and what makes them special.
Yeah, it's a musical.
Yeah, it's a musical.
Mm-hmm.
So Skimbleshanks has a big song about how he's the railway cat. Grisabella has a song about how she's sad and lonely and no one loves her, and it's an incredible banger. So we'll probably get into that as we get into the characters. But the plot is really thin. Cats 2019 tried to bring the plot up a bit by adding a whole... So Victoria was added in Cats 2019 because they needed a protagonist cat. In the original theater play, most of the songs are sung straight to the audience. There's not really much of a fourth wall. So they tried to add a plot. They tried to add an audience perspective cat, so all the cats have someone to sing their cat songs to. And it's a little weird because at the very end it kind of breaks down and they do in fact sing that a cat is not a dog in full chorus to the rising sun and also the entire audience, which is probably the peak. It's probably peak Cats 2019.
That was the scene that turned me from oh my gosh, this is a garbage fire and I love it, to I love this movie unironically for everything it is.
Which I think brings us to the most important point, is that Cats has big Homestuck energy.
No.
Yes.
Cats came first. Homestuck has big Cats energy.
Do you think Andrew Hussey has seen Cats?
God, I would... You know what? I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't.
He probably unironically likes it.
Homestuck takes so much varied inspiration from different properties that honestly, if you told me Cats was the main inspiration for Homestuck, I'd be like, yeah, that entirely tracks. You could tell me that about any property and I'd be like, yeah.
So spoiler, the answer to will Cats 2019 Homestuck is yes. Cats 2019 will Homestuck incredibly well.
Here's the thing. It's not will Cats 2019 Homestuck. It's does Homestuck Cats 2019.
Do you think Jade is a Skimbleshanks or a Rumtug Tugger?
Ooh.
I mean...
neither.
Jade's not really... Jade doesn't have that kind of frantic energy at either of them. If anything, Jade is...
Grisabella.
No, Jade's not Grisabella. Jade's oh my god, I'm blanking. The cat names are wild. So every single cat in this has a name. They're freaking bonkers. Partly because all of the cats, this is explained, but every cat has a true name and it must be unique. And there's been a lot of cats. So it's like your AIM handle in 2006, except you're not allowed to use numbers. But yeah, I think Jade is definitely like a Mr. Mistopheles.
Can we read
I see that.
some of these beautiful, beautiful cat names? So we've got, some of the main cast is on here, but we've got Grisabella, Asparagus, also known as Gus. We've got Bustopher Jones, which honestly I just think is the best name ever because it's Bustopher Jones. It's just fun to say. You've got Demeter.
To be named Bustopher.
You have Jelly Lorum.
Jemima, Syllabub,
Tumble Brutus.
Bombalurina,
Carbuckety.
Tumble Brutus.
The Great Rumpus Cat, who, by the way, the Great Rumpus Cat, who was cut from Cats 2019 because he was too bonkers.
Wait.
Yeah, seriously, the
God.
Great Rumpus Cat is a superhero cat who fights dogs, and that could not have got... Yeah, seriously. Sorry, I'm here with the Cats OG Cats Facts as the resident Cats expert.
Oh my gosh, why did they cut it? Why did they cut that?
Can you imagine? So, you know how creepy, the mice and the cockroaches are. We're going to get to this. We'll get to this. Dear listeners, we will
no.
get to this. But
We'll get
imagine
to all of this.
a giant humanized dog with like a humanized CGI face that's 6 feet tall looming
yes.
over everything. It would be horrific.
Everything makes sense now.
Yeah, so like definitely cut Great Rumpus Cat, but he does exist in my heart. Characters, do you want to get to class specting? I think we've been dodging around what every cat is.
One last one. I let me have this.
Okay, you got this.
Just this one.
Pouncival.
Incredible.
His name is Pouncival. Also, car buckety.
I heard it said car buckety.
Who said car? I don't know. It's just so good. I love this.
There's a
Pouncival.
legitimate tear in my eye.
Pouncival.
Oh, I would die for Pouncival. But speaking of dying, cats do die in this movie. I'm trying to segue us into class specting.
I've been trying to segue us into class specting for the last 15 minutes. We're 30 minutes in. Like, we're literally 30 minutes in already.
Sorry, folks. This is going to be a long one.
So you're telling me it's time to cat spect these felines?
So the first cat we have is Victoria. Victoria is our self-insert cat. She gets thrown out with the bag. She's the one who the camera sort of follows most of the way. She has a song which was written by Taylor Swift and added afterwards. So I have her as a Air of Breath. So she's, out of all the casts, she's the one who actually changes. She has like a character arc, unlike everyone else who just has a character song. She also has like a big deal of how freedom is forced upon her. I see her as a passive class. She has big Egbert energy, I guess. She's definitely this sort of like, Act 1 Egbert is this almost bland, readery self-insert. No offense to Egbert stands out there, of which I'm sure there are plenty of you. But but yeah, I diagnosed you with Egbert.
Now, I had a similar line of thought, but it diverged a little bit. I do think she's a passive player, and I do also have her as Breath. However, I have her as a Sylph.
Ooh.
Yeah, the way I see it, she continuously throughout the movie helps and heals people. First of all, Grisabella, she kind of restores freedom to Grisabella, heals that freedom, having her accepted into the tribe again, having her be the Jellicle choice, and essentially equips and heals Grisabella to the point where, in a literal symbology of Breath, Grisabella flies away in the giant air balloon at the end of the movie.
Oh, that sells it. I'm with you on
Gosh,
this.
damn. Okay.
Minty, what do you have? Minty,
And
hit it
even
up.
Mr. Mustopheles, she helps in that way. But continue, Minty, please. Give me your hot take.
No, all right, yeah, no, you're totally right. Let's see how wrong Minty is.
So, I feel like the most important thing first is to denote that she is a prospect dreamer. She's definitely kind of
yes.
like aloof and flighty. I also had her as an heir, though not for the well, yes, mostly because she is a self-insert, but mostly because of what I felt she did. And basically the kind of like the grander role throughout Cats between the first original Cats and Cats 2019 that we have here. I have her as Heir of Void because she inherited a role that is nothing. She inherited a role that often has her inside the entire plot, just kind of like passively looking on until the very end, in which she does kind of just chill with Grisabella and say, hey, listen, you're actually pretty cool, you should be the Jellicle choice. And like I see her now as like a sylph of Breath, and I'm like, yeah, that kind of makes sense, but also at the same time she kind of just does nothing, kind of like Equius. And so I diagnosed her with like Heir of Void, because the only thing that she does is, well, I mean, let's be real. The only thing that she really does is just exist. Kind of like Equius.
Ooh, it's viscerally both appealing and repulsive to me that Victoria is diagnosed as Equius. But I do see the point. I like Heir of Breath as like this metatextual role for Victoria. Maybe not in how she actually performs in the movie, but that's essentially what the writers needed. They needed that Heir of Void.
Yeah, I feel very, very strongly about this Heir of Void thing, because she doesn't do anything She is inheriting the role of nothing.
I think she does do things. It's just in the passive player kind of way, in that I don't think without her the other cats would have accepted Grisabella at all, or as much as they did. And I mean, Mr. Mistopheles or whoever, I think she helped tremendously in giving them the confidence to bring old Deuteronomy back. But she's not taking like an active role in that helping. It's, again, passive player. I'm still going for Sylph of Breath. The Sylph of Breath.
I agree with you. But like, it's super important to realize, like, we know what this movie looks like without her. It exists.
Yeah.
Like, as a metatextual like thing, like, she is inserted. I agree with Sylph of Breath, especially because this is the episode on Cats 2019 and not the episode of the Cats franchise and extended universe.
Maybe
The deep Cats lore.
Maybe she's a Sylph of Breath who role plays as an heir in the end.
Ooh.
What if she is a Sylph of Breath, but also Vriska?
No.
We will get back to that later. We'll get back to that later.
Business speak. We're gonna put a pin in that.
Yeah. We're gonna circle around.
Now for the, are we good with this? Can we go to the next one?
Yeah, I'm good.
So, the next main character is Mr. Mistopheles, the magical cat. So Mr. Mistopheles is a kind of failed magician. It's implied that he's bad at this, except in the climax of the film, during the film's final flash, he develops the confidence to
Hold up. I'm sorry.
Yes.
You can't just call the final song the final flash. You can't. No.
You can, and we did.
So
No.
one, it's not even the final flash, because the final flash is clearly like the big sunrise scene at the very end where you learn cats are not dogs. But
I can't do this.
so if anything, I would say during the cascade moment, during the big cascade moment, he develops the confidence to actually magic old Deuteronomy back from Macavity and save everybody. I put him down as the Witch of Space.
Huh.
Okay, sell me on it.
So Space, I think you definitely see he has teleporting powers. Most of his, I mean, this is probably going to get cast as maybe, I'm going to guess you guys have some Rogue of Void, because he has like Roxy-like powers, but a lot of what he does is conjure stuff from place to place. Very strong space energy, but also he's really integral to the plot as it exists. And I think space characters tend to be vital as far as plot goes and sort of a metatextual thing.
I agree a lot with you on basically everything you just said about space. I also had him as a space player, but we'll get to my opinion.
But yeah, so
that.
Witch, it's one who manipulates. It's an active class. He's the one who takes the role to save old Deuteronomy. He clearly has a supporting cast in Victoria and all the other cats during the magical Mr. Mistopheles song. So definitely active, definitely, I have most likely space. I put him down as Durst.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd agree. Yeah, I'd say Durst.
Yeah, I can see that. He's definitely not averse to like the whole self-reflection sort of thing. I kind of like started in the same area as you did, whereas it was like the Witch, like he's actively changing things. And then I kind of had my second watch through and I was like, he's not really, there was because I just want to be upfront here. There's not a lot of personality in some of these cats, or at least at the very most, the personality that we see is distilled down into one very brief punch to the face.
Yeah, fair.
And with Mr. Mistopheles, throughout like the entire movie, he was more so sung about than him actively taking a role in his songs. And so I thought to myself, okay, he's either a witch or an heir, because he's definitely changing things via magic, and that's like very, very air-coded. And when we went to Hope, when we went to the end here, there is a scene in which basically this is the last hope. This is everything about the film, that without this, everything is going to fall apart. And Mr. Mistopheles takes the role of taking everybody's hope and their belief and pulling it inside himself. And that's very, very Hope to me. Like, he was believed in at the very end because he was right about to like give up there at the end, and then everybody was like, and then Victoria swoops in and is like, no, wasn't there ever such a cat quite as clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles? And everybody else joins in. And so I actually have him down as an heir of hope because he basically is pulling in everybody's hope around them and then uses that as his magic.
I do like that.
Because when it comes down to like people's powers and stuff, I didn't really factor that in because we see several characters in Homestuck who just kind of like have powers, and that doesn't really change anything about their aspect. Like Vriska's mind control abilities isn't really like, it's very mind coded, but she's a light player.
Yeah, but I always interpreted that as light is relevance and action. She's stealing their action. She's stealing their relevance by bending their will to hers.
True, but light and mind are also like perpendicular to each other with this here. And you said,
yeah, I put them down as witches space.
yeah, so they're right next to each other on there, so they're very, very similar, and they definitely like share a lot of themes there. Like in the Homestuck expanded Zodiac quiz, if you got an answer for mind, you would have gotten a point for like hope and space. So I think there's definitely some symmetry there. Maybe I don't know. I really like him as an heir of hope. I just think that he inherits everybody else's hopes around him in a very, very passive way in order to pull everything together at the last moment.
Goldie, be our tiebreaker.
I think that's a really good take. Now, here's what I originally had, but this conversation is making me change a little bit in my mind. So I'm just going to tell you what I originally had.
Okay.
Okay, what I originally had him as is a page of space. I thought his journey was very similar to that of the pages, i.e., kind of incompetence and self-doubt at the beginning of the journey, and then arising eventually at the end of this hero's journey, our cat's journey, to arise to greatness and great power. I saw his powers as very space-coded, but I do really, really like the idea of how he pulled the hope. I mean, not to diagnose magical Mr. Mistopheles with Jake. However, Page of Hope is also appealing to me. But I don't know. Page of Space is still good, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll buy Page of
we can do that.
I'll buy Page of
I'm
Hope.
down with that.
So we diagnose Mr. Mistopheles with Jake English.
Absolutely, 100%. He is a himbo.
Yeah, exactly. Magical
You're
Mr.
totally right.
Mistopheles
You're
is
totally
a himbo.
And we'll get to that. Trust me, we will get to that in the relationshiping. But do you guys have him Prospect or Durst?
Durst. I didn't really manage to pull one down for him, but hearing everything I'm saying out loud, he's definitely Durst.
Cool. All right, moving on to our worst cat, Jenny Anydots.
Why is she here?
Some important notes I feel like should be put out about Jenny Anydots is that, I wrote this down specifically, is that she can't say bastard. She can't say bastard. She tries to call McCavity a bastard, but gets interrupted. And I feel like that's very, very important to the plot. Because she cannot say bastard. She can't say what she wants.
Yeah, but she's far and away the most unsettling character. One of the things that got laughed about, and even if you haven't seen the movie, you probably have seen the gif of her unzipping her skin, unzipping her fur to reveal a full burlesque outfit underneath, like some horrid skin suit.
Here's the thing. When you said you've probably seen the gif, I thought of a good 3 different Jenny Anydots gifs that are all terrifying.
Yeah, the cockroaches one are pretty fucking terrifying.
Yeah, so in the movie, in her song, she reveals that she's training mice and cockroaches to dance. That's how she's going to enter the talent show. But dear God, are the CGI on these horrific. She eats a couple, so the cockroaches are people-sized, people-shaped with people faces, just like the cats are cat faces, but she straight up eats a dude. The mice have weird baby faces. So I put her down as a bard of life. She has huge bard energy. She's the first indication something might be amiss in this film. And she invites the destruction of the life of all who watch it.
Ooh.
She's the moment where I first felt like my life leaving my body. She's terrible. She makes a bunch of jokes that are real bad. The scenes she's in are just sorry. I really dislike this character, and so I kind of want to assign
Go
her
off.
Bard. But like, she's kind of everything wrong with this movie distilled down into one horrible influence. She's the Bard of this film. And on the surface level, she's a passive because she's teaching mice and roaches to dance, but that's also Bard. She's very musically coded. Even though every other cat sings, she's the one who's actually singing in the fiction on the base level because she has this roach cabaret. She destroys life literally as well, where she just devours several cockroaches on screen in great detail, which are pictured as human-esque singing voices with life and hope and a family.
It's so uncomfortable.
It's like watching a snuff film.
So yeah, Bard of Life.
I just want to be right up out here. I didn't have anything for Jenny Any Dots. I could not pull something together other than space ? And goes grimdark when she does an outfit change. I'm sorry. She immediately goes takes an outfit change off and then eats a cockroach and reveals that she is training mice. If that's not a grimdark awakening, I don't know.
I think it's just general Bard energy.
Jenny Any Dots has big Durst Dreamer who's heavily tied with the horror tears energy.
Absolute. You know what? I'm sorry. I'm here for this Bard of Life shit. I don't have anything to contribute to this. I am sorry. I tried my best.
You died very valiantly in your effort, Minty. But I did have something, but I'm going to say it anyways.
Yeah,
but at the end, I do want to say that I like Bard of Life better. I had her as a Thief of Breath. Now, as a warning, I do have double ups of classes and aspects here. This is just one of many. So Thief of Breath, I saw her training those cockroaches and mice as stealing their freedom in a way. That's all I really had for her. And I think Bard of Life is so much better.
But it's wild that there is yet another axis on which this character is existentially horrifying.
Yeah.
Moving on to Grisabella.
The fun one.
The best one.
So Grisabella, super critical. She's the sad and alone cat who makes up sort of the main emotional arc of the film. When we introduced her she's all sad and alone. She sings the best song in the film.
Oh, yes.
The Tony song.
Yeah, Tony's. It's Memories, which is the song you're most likely to have heard. You've probably heard it in karaoke. The rendition here is incredible. I don't know who they got to sing it. I should probably look it up and give them a shout out.
Jennifer Hudson, right?
Yeah. So the music in this entire movie, like as bad as the CGI is, the music rips, and Memories is incredible, which is completely irrelevant to the class spec thing. I just want to throw it out there. So she sings her "Woe Is Me" sad Memories song, gets a bunch of Oscars. All the cats forgive her, and she ascends to the Heaviside layer, aka Heaven, aka God tier, to be reborn. So I put her down as a Sylph of Doom. I'm not 100% sure of Sylph, but so Doom, her whole thing is about the inevitability of death. She's rejected, she knows that she's doomed. Her whole plot is she's trying to escape the inevitable, but it defines her entire character. She's doomed for reasons that aren't even clear. Like in this, it's mentioned in a single offhand interstitial line that she hung out with McCavity and that's why she's been rejected. In the original film, which is not this film, but like it's not even explained. I think all the cats just hate her because she's old and ugly. Maybe they dislike her because she thought she was better. She's referred to as the glamour cat. But yeah, I put her down as a Sylph of Doom. I'm not super strong on the Sylph part. Honestly, I just want to see a Sylph of Doom. I think that's such a compelling class spec that send me Sylph of Doom fix, everybody, at sperigi on Twitter. Let me see your Sylph of Doom self inserts. But yeah, I'm not super psyched about it here, but I definitely think Doombound. And I put her down as a Durst streamer as well.
Mm-hmm.
Can I go next after this?
Yeah, go for it.
So springboarding off of yours, I took a lot of that internally, looked at the exact same things, and kind of just came out, I guess, a little bit different here, just because of like the fact that her arc, like her entire arc throughout the film, like what we see in the text, what we see before, mimics a character in Homestuck so perfectly. And before I take you there,
no.
I need to like pull something. Is that she is a glamour cat. She is all about, just kind of like free form expression. We see her as one of the only people out there with clothes on and who is like just really, really into the clothes. But Grisabella sings about herself and then is sung about, and she has fallen from grace. She used to be probably this fanciful glamour cat, and she's incredible, she's wonderful, and then she's fallen, and then comes back up into a state in which she is most happy. And that mirrors Aradia's arc perfectly. Yes, I have her as a maid of time, because the maid class, especially as we know, needs to serve their aspect first. She has served time her entire life. She's old, she's ugly, she is like the perfect old person here. And then, after she has done her period of service, she excels, she gets pulled out. She is burned by Macavity, which mirrors just Vriska, kind of like screwing over Aradia, and then she goes through so many different things to get so many different kinds of bodies. She is first a frog person, then she's a robot, and then she goes god tier. And as she goes to the Heaviside layer, which has huge god tier vibes, that she gets reborn into a self that gets to be more happier, which again is Aradia.
Yeah, that's solid. I respect that.
That's really good. Both of you are very interesting in that here's what I did. Grisabella, for me, has 2 different class specs.
Oh my god!
Because I couldn't decide. One of them Doom and one of them Time.
Yeah!
I had her, and I will give justifications for both, and we can mix and match and see what we're going to do here. I had justifications for both. So for Heir of Doom was one of them. I saw her doomed role as, what was it that you had Starshine for?
Sylph.
I had Sylph of Doom.
I think Grisabella less healed and more inherited that role of the Doom and the Doombringer. She is doomed and she is kind of vibing at the beginning of the movie, just kind of sad. And that's a role that she entirely embodies. She is the sad old glamour cat, and she's just so entirely that role, and she doesn't really do anything to heal of that, and I see that's very, very passive. But I also had Mage of Time, in that she saw back on her past and she saw that continuation of time and all the mistakes she had made, and that was another kind of aspect of what's the word for it, just generally kind of bad vibes.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't that make her more of a seer then?
Shit. Yeah. How I saw it is that she knew and embodied her own past in a way that's very, like, she doesn't just see her past mistakes, she embodies knowing them and what came of them. That's why I had her pegged as mage. I forget, her mage is active or passive, because I think she would be passive, and that would flip me either to seer or to mage.
Mages are active, seers are passive.
Got it. Seer. So what do we want to do with this?
Well, one point in favor of Doom is I have a time bound who's much stronger case for time bound.
Yeah,
Like-
I have double ups on both classes and aspects. So we can do whatever we want to do with that.
I'm gonna put in
I
both.
have my own repeats.
So I super like Meg of Time. I'm gonna put down both,
Hell yeah.
Okay.
and we'll figure this out in a bit. Are we all in agreement for Durst?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, 100%.
Very Durst dreamer. Very, very caught up with reflections of herself. Just caught up with herself. Like, yeah. Anyway, Goldie, you should take the next one because I know you have opinions about it.
I have such strong opinions on this one. So Skibbleshanks was the cat that initially kicked off this whole event. Without Skibbleshanks class-specting, we would not be here. I have so very strong opinions that Skibbleshanks is an heir of time. He so embodies the regularity, the perfection, just the getting down the timing of the railway system. And there's perfectionism, and it is managing timelines to the utmost.
So for context, Skimbleshanks does not have any plot relevance whatsoever, but he also has the single best song.
Yes.
Slaps.
Memory can get dunked on. Skimbleshanks the Railroad Cat is incredible. It slaps so hard.
Dave Strider wishes.
Yeah, so Skimbleshanks, a big part of his whole character in the song is he's this cat who lives on a train, but the cat can't leave without him, and he knows this exactly. So he's always exactly right on time. The whole song includes lyrics like, it's 11:42, and it's like, it goes into detail on the exact specific timetable the train is supposed to leave, and they can't because Skimbleshanks is missing, and so everyone has to run to look for him, but they can't find him. But he always shows up at exactly the right moment. He is completely in command of time. He's completely in command of his train. He so embodies his aspect that he wields to sort of shape his entire world around him. I put him down as a knight of time.
Okay.
I can see that. I can see wielding that aspect of time.
So, my class spec is a bit of a shitpost.
No,
That's
not the
fine.
best cat.
He's a bit of a shitpost himself. What's up?
So Skimbleshanks is a character who, when I was watching this song both times, I felt like I was just watching a chronic dumbass coming in just at the right moment so that they could look like the best person possible. It looked like they came in right at the last second every single time to steal the spotlight. And so
Oh no.
Skimbleshanks is a thief of light.
No!
I knew the second you were like,
Vriska!
comes in and steals the spotlight, my
Vriska!
mind went ape shit. Oh my
Vriskcourse
god, I'm
is
so
later.
mad.
We have a schedule. We have a timetable. It is 11:18 right now. Vriskcourse comes later.
That being said,
I'm so mad.
I will defer to time because I think that makes more sense. Listen,
I respect the hustle.
it came into my brain the second time around. We can talk about the Vriska of this film later. Because,
Yeah.
let me tell you, I have thoughts.
Yeah. Oh my god. So one other note, he's hot in this film. So this is the one cat who's not sexy in the original. This is the one. He's like a doofy rail cat. He's like a conductor cat. He has a little rail hat, but they made him ripped. He tap
Yeah.
dances, and he's sexual. He has sexual energy. It's like he stole the sexual energy from everyone else. And like that sounds like I'm about to segue into a really interesting class spec, but I got nothing. I just wanted to comment that he's way hotter than he should be.
He's the best cat. He's
Why
too
is
sexy
his
and he's the best
ass
cat.
like that?
Because he's the best cat.
God, one thing I wanted to mention, what about Seer of Time?
Okay.
I like that.
I do like that too.
I'm still partial to Air just because of how much he embodies time, but I do see it in that being able to plan out everything so precisely does imply amount of seeing.
I'm gonna put him down for Sierra's Time, and maybe we'll come back to it.
Hell yes. Oh, we're gonna get to the good one.
Oh, we're
Yeah,
going to the cavity.
yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Yes. Real quick. Skibbleshanks prospect?
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely. This guy
Legit, all right.
has cereal, no clue, what is it?
No
head empty, no
head
thoughts.
empty, yeah.
All right. Go for McCavity.
Oh, who would like to take this one?
Goldie, you should go first. I would like to go second or last for maximum impact.
Ooh, yes, I would love to do McCavity. I have him. Now, this was something that changed from my original watching. I changed this earlier today. I have McCavity down as a Witch of Void. I'm getting super big Void vibes from McCavity in that he takes away. Oh shit, maybe am I going for Fief?
Maybe.
Okay, I'll have to think about
So
that.
Thief of Void is what I had. So carry on. But carry on.
I'm changing this live as I'm talking.
It do happen.
In that, I originally thought that he changes the very nature of existing, of what is there and what is not, through magical means, but that could also heavily lean to thief, and I'm thinking about that now.
Yeah, I put.
What was your hot take?
I put it on as Thief of Void. The whole time he's magicking characters away. In one sentence, like a dude jumps into a trash can and it's just this empty, bottomless pit down into the kill block at the very bottom of the. Like he just completely clips out of the arena.
It's incredible, fantastic, delightful.
Yeah, so
McCavity
has control over the boundaries of game logic.
Yeah.
He fucking no clips Buster Jones.
yeah, he no clips Buster Jones straight to hell. So definitely.
Sorry, that was just really
That hit you real right, didn't it? Okay, all right. So definitely Void. I got big Void, big Thief of Void. Very straightforward. But Minty, I know you have something big you've been saving up, so go ahead and hit us with it.
So I am 100% certain about the class for mine. The aspect, not so much. But before we continue, I have been watching so much Optimistic Duelist, and the one thing that they always talk about is role-playing as a class. And, you know, when a character tends to role-play as a class, things go absolutely terrible for them. They fall apart. Their plans get thrown in the garbage. When Aranya role-plays as a Thief of Light, she gets murdered, yeeted off into a pit of lava, and just gets thrown out of the story, and we never see her again. And when Vriska tries to hot take incoming, when Vriska tries to help Tavros by throwing him off a cliff, she ends up hurting him rather than healing. So I see where everybody is coming here with Thief, but when McCavity acts as a thief, everything goes wrong for him. Everything kind of goes right at first, but then we see him literally get nothing that he wants, and he gets thrown out of the story and is branded as a villain. So I have him as a rogue of blood, role-playing as a thief of blood. Now, the blood aspect here is something that it doesn't hold as much water, but I feel pretty confident about this, because when it comes down to it, every single one of the cats dances and sings almost perfectly with every single one of the other cats. There's like these huge...
Yeah, the coordination's really good.
These cats have like incredible coordination. And then at the very end of the song, Willy Wonka style, McCavity swoops in and offers them something just like appealing to them, except in the case of Skimbleshanks, where I think Skimbleshanks went willingly, but yeah, he steals the cats from their friends, from their... hold up. Am I going for Rogue of Life? Because he's stealing, like... he's stealing their... But he isn't doing... He is trying to do it actively, but it goes horribly for him. Whereas if he had used his magic, his teleportation, something for a little bit more flashy inside of his song, I feel like he could have done something, because let's remember, at the very end of McCavity's song, he just swoops in while somebody else is doing it for him. Very, very passive energy from him.
Yeah, that's super fair. I hadn't actually thought about that. I know you mentioned wanting to like do a dichotomy between the cats who sing about themselves versus the cats who get sung about. Yeah, which is totally fair. I also like Blood. I'm not as big a fan of Life. I don't think he kills anyone. I don't think he has that kind of murderous intent. I think he just magics them away. I could see Blood. He wants to steal the relationship. Like, he's intensely jealous.
Yeah, he's just so jealous of literally everybody around him. He wants to be the Jellicle choice, and he's not even around all the other Jellicle cats.
Yeah, and I think Blood has big jealousy energy also.
Yeah.
You see that in Karkat. You see that in a lot of the other Bloodbound. There's a big element of rejection and element of jealousy. I'll go with Rogue of Blood role playing as the Thief of Blood.
I could perhaps see that. I see it less as blood, and I don't particularly think McCavity values or places any stock or envy in the relationships he has. I forget. I believe McCavity just wants to be the Jellicle choice because that's something to have. That is, uh, I feel like the Jellicle choice itself is kind of this voidy thing in that it's kind of this intangible want, and I don't really see it as an opportunity to be better, to have better relationships. I don't really. I do like Rogue, or was it Rogue of whatever the thing for blood was.
Right?
I forget.
Rogue of Blood?
So
I
I hear you. I hear you. I see you. But McCavity has friends. McCavity has a bunch of people who are down on their luck. We see it as soon as when Bustopher Jones and Jenny Anydots are kidnapped and tied up. There's like this roguish cat that basically McCavity like pulled in off the streets.
Yeah, but I don't see him as valuing that relationship so much as it's a means to the end of allies to get me to the place I want to be, not as in like my friends.
Yeah.
I think he sees people and relationships as a means to an end.
No, but so he still sees them. But also, I want to point out that in Cats 2019, Grisabella's relationship with all the other cats was destroyed because she started hanging out with McCavity. He stole Grisabella's relationship with everyone else, and he's stealing everyone else to keep them from being that choice. Like, if you view the choice as a relationship thing, which, I mean, that's not exactly a great sell, but, like, bear with me, then he's definitely Rogue or Thief
Now
of Blood.
that's an angle that sells me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does do that, doesn't he? Okay, that gets me.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down with Rogue of Blood role-playing as Thief of Blood. Durst?
Oh, absolutely. This man is a scoundrel, 100%.
That's true. He is heavily into planning. Like, he has had this as shitty as it is, planned to get the Jellicle choice. He's had this for a while. He's a scoundrel.
Cool. All right, so the last of the main cats, well, we're probably going to fight over who's a main cat and who's not a main cat, but the last of my main cats I have for Old Deuteronomy. I have a spicy take. I want to go last.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. How do you feel, Minty?
So my take, I feel like, is kind of like lukewarm, and I think will definitely warm up Starshine's here. I feel like this is so hard because Old Deuteronomy, she feels like a first guardian. She feels like someone who is sent to watch over here all of these cats.
Huh.
You stole that's my take. Give me my card back.
Incredible. Okay. Listen,
Sell me.
you
Sell me
said
on
it.
Both of you, sell me on First Guardian Old Deuteronomy. Tag team.
I'm not too strong on it because Starshine said it while we were watching, and I said, you know what? I can't argue with that. That's right.
You're going to come on here and steal my ideas and then dumpster them? Get out of here. Oh my god. All right, so he's incredibly powerful. So, one, he's not, like, I can't have a normal class spec for Old Deuteronomy. And honestly, I'm kind of convincing myself out of it as I'm talking right now. So we're going to watch a mind get changed live.
Okay.
Live on air for the first time. So he's clearly powerful. He's sort of the character all the other characters orbit around him. Or, sorry, her. I apologize. So, again, Old Deuteronomy is a dude in the first play, and the theater play is typically an older dude, like a cult leader. It's Dame Duty Gents. I apologize, Dame Duty Gents, for misgendering you. I'm sure you get it all the time.
So
um,
so she's trans.
oh my god. So this is the one cat who's maybe not trans.
No. Dame Judy Judge did an interview
Did she
where
actually?
she says, I think Old Deuteronomy is trans.
Yeah!
She did do that. Yeah, she did
Okay,
that.
I'm here for that.
Yeah.
God. Okay, perfect. All right. Anyway, so he's doing something powerful. So it was either like a first guardian, maybe. So I'm coming around on this because like a first guardian normally has more control over like the first guardians we see are Beck and GCat and Oh my god, who's the
Jock's
asshole?
trash.
Yeah, thank you. But they're all mysterious. They're like mysterious and powerful.
Yeah.
And like Dame Judi Dench is much more approachable. Like I wouldn't want to hug. Well, I have not to say I wouldn't want to hug any of the other First Guardians, but honestly, like I would totally hug Beck all day, every day. Um, but one of the other options is either you could do as a carapace, a White Queen, or
I think I have something actually.
yes,
So
I have something as well.
And
but
this
we'll get to me.
this
you
is
go first.
This is something that I just came up with as you were saying this, and I kind of want to play with it a little bit, but let's hear it out.
yeah. Let's hear it.
Muse of life.
I will tip my cards here and say I also had her as a muse.
Ooh.
I had Muse of Blood.
Ooh, I was thinking about blood earlier while Starshan was describing that.
Yeah, because not to get confused between our musical and our movie canons, but Old Deuteronomy in the musical very explicitly is the parent to many cats. In fact, I believe she's the mother to Mungo, Jerry, and Rumpelteazer, canonically in the movie, correct? So that's just one aspect of that very tangible connection and relationship. But just think about how important she is to just this community of Jellicle cats. She inspires them through these relationships, this hierarchy. She clearly has this like very matriarch, or in the musical, patriarchal role in this community, to like the point of being like this inspirational relationship figure.
Yo, I'm with that.
I'm very passionate about this.
I'm with it.
I'm here for that.
I'm here with this.
Is this... Hold up, is this the first muse on Will It Homestuck?
Might be.
And it goes to Dame Judi Dench's Old Deuteronomy! Congratulations!
I can't believe we stole the first muse from Will It
Yes,
Homestuck.
get styled on!
Whoops, Future Sky here. We recorded this before the Into the Spider-Verse episode. If you haven't listened to that episode yet, you should. Future Sky out.
We're the podcast now! God, alright, so then do you want to update McCavity as a rogue of void, role-playing as a thief of blood?
I'm still real big on the blood. Because we can have doubles.
Yeah, this is not a no double zone. We can have doubles.
No, but alright, so picture this. I'm skipping ahead a bit, but like, alright, in the session, you think Old Deuteronomy is a guardian, like Dad Egbert, or
Yeah.
right? So that's an aspect. So you go into it thinking that. So if this is a fan adventure, right? And so you see the 6 aspects, and so you think McCavity is thief of blood, but it doesn't go well for him. It's like one of the big like Act 4 twists is Old Deuteronomy enters the session. He's the bloodbound the whole time. McCavity's been void the whole time, but you never saw his symbol because he was the rogue of void the whole time.
Shit, that's good.
Okay.
Now I want to make... Hi, I'm going to sue you for personal emotional damages for making
It's
you want
gonna
to do a
happen.
cat
It's gonna
adventure.
happen.
Do it.
God, all right.
This
So
is awful.
do we want to have a lunar sway for this one?
Prospect?
I'm okay with Prospect.
I think that could be perhaps debatable. I think Old Deuteronomy, she strikes me more as a realist in this movie. She sees things as they are and for their true nature. And clearly the whole Jellicle choice ceremony is very like planned out. Like there's a ball, there's everything that's like very planned and organized. I kind of want to say Durst.
Yeah, but I kind of really want a scene of like Dame Judi Dench having tea with White Queen.
Okay, yeah, that is good.
Okay.
I will say Prospect just for that.
Nice. All right, cool. All right, so that's the end of my main character cats.
Now, I would like to argue a few of these. I think, first of all, we let Jenny Any Dotson, which that's a low bar. I think Muscatrap plays a pretty important role in the movie.
He is a pretty big cat.
So, counterpoint, bards show up where you do not want them, and where they are not expected, and where they are not needed. So that's just bard energy.
I have very little for any of these other cats other than Bustifer Jones.
All right, let's see what you got for Bustifer.
Yeah, hit me.
Bustifer Jones was I'm just gonna come out swinging. Bustopher Jones was my original Vriska of this film. Bustopher Jones is a liar, he's a scoundrel, he's self-absorbed, and all he does is take the spotlight from any other cat that's around there. He is just kind of like a big nuisance, and he's like, oh no, don't talk about my size, I'm so upset about it, I'm so sensitive about it. And then he literally just sings about how he's the fattest cat, the roundest cat, the best cat.
The chorus is literally, oh no, I'm the fattest cat, I'm such a roly-poly cat, I'm so fat. And then in the lyric, it's like, oh no, don't tell me how fat I am. But then it's like, I want to get reincarnated so I can get fat again.
Exactly. And so I just have him as a Prince of Life. Because, and hear me out, I know what you're thinking, Prince is the active destroy, but the active destroy class, and it's supposed to benefit themselves, but he's self-destructive. He's just kind of like vibing. We see him trying to sing and then drink at the same time. He's just kind of a real rascally scoundrel. He's just kind of like this big himbo.
He is not a himbo. Bustopher Jones does not respect women.
Bustopher Jones,
Okay,
I don't even want to
fair.
think about Bustopher Jones getting down with any of the other cats. You take that back right now. But I will turn this podcast around, so help me.
I had Bustopher Jones as a thief of life because I see him as so intrinsically life-coded, but I was not sold on thief. I am sold on Prince now. I do like that.
I do have someone as thief of life, though.
Oh shit, really?
Yes.
Who's your thief of life?
Who?
So Gus, I don't care about him. Bombalurina, I have nothing for her. She's there for just one song, which is about McCavity. She doesn't really do much. Rum Tug Tugger, he's a curious cat. That's about it. He's probably a Gemini if he was a troll.
He's a horn. Yeah, but he's really fucking sexy.
Yeah, he's also really fucking sexy, and that's literally his only redeeming quality. But Mungo Jerry and Rumple Teaser are pretty much, I would say, if we were to do like a fan session of them, Mungo Jerry and Rumple Teaser would be the cherubs. And they would be cherubs that both have their dream selves and have lost their body at some point along that. And they just chill with each other the entire time and confuse the shit out of everyone around them. And
so
also
stuff
just
is going missing in the session.
Yeah, also
and
they just steal everything and everything that's shiny, which wealth is associated with life. I'm sorry, I'm assigning a lot of people Homestuck characters, and I am not sorry for it. Mungo Jerry and Rumple Teaser just have big Mina energy to me.
You know what? Valid.
I'll accept that. I mean, don't they have the Juju too? Aren't they the one who show up with the catnip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I make everyone go trickster mode. It doesn't really go trickster mode because actually everyone falls asleep. But like they sprinkle magic stardust on everybody.
Who else has magic stardust? Calliope.
Oh.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I'll buy it.
I did not have aspects for Mungo Jerry and Rumple Teaser. I just had them as fiefs. So I think Fiefs of Light works wonderful.
I'm down.
And they're basically, they are never separated. They essentially have the same characterization. There is not a lot of differences between the two.
100%.
They're the same person. They'd share a god tier outfit.
Yeah.
All right, Goldie, do you want to lightning round the last ones? I know you have one for all these guys.
I do. If anyone would like to argue with me. First, is it okay if I start?
Go ahead.
I got Rum Tum Tugger as a maid of hearts.
Excuse me?
Yeah!
Okay, you say that, but I have that exact thing written down too.
Oh my god. So, maid of heart, are we in agreement on this?
Yes?
Hell yeah.
I'm just gonna drop this image. I promise I am not lying.
Oh my god, this worked out great. Did you have anything, Starshine, that would contradict this?
I think it contains multitudes. I think I said that when we were watching it. Because this whole song is about how he, is completely indecisive at all times. When he's inside, he wants to be outside. When he's outside, he wants to be inside. If you give him a fish, he wants chicken. And if you give him chicken, he wants fish. And it's sung much better because it's sung by professional voice actors, whereas I'm just a hack. But it's a pretty good song, and it's all about how he contains multitudes. I'm down with Native Heart.
Okay. Cool. So I guess the lightning round for Rum Tum Tugger completed. That was lightning. Next one, Muscatrap. I am 100% sold that he is a knight. I either had Knight of Light or Knight of Blood.
I don't know how I feel about him being a car cat. I like Knight. You said Knight of Light?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's a little bit better because he's much more guiding the story around. If I remember correctly, Munkus Trap and Mr. Mistopheles used to be like gay for each other.
Yeah, so
we'll get to that. I have a bullet point on our relationship chart. Just for them.
Incredible.
for people who watch the movie once, Munkus Trap is a character who doesn't have a song, does not get named, but is sort of like the face of the party. He's sort of whenever you need an ordinary, boring-ass cat, he's the cat. He kind of winds up being like a de facto leader of the cats when old Deuteronomy's not around. So that's Munkus Trap. And I'll agree with Knight of Light.
Yeah, I had Light because I saw him as kind of the exposition machine, kind of, at least to Victoria. Like, he's the one that guides her and equips her with knowledge. That had big Knight of Light energy to me. I only had Blood because I thought, like, he's the leader, he has some kind of relationships, but I honestly like Light much better for him.
Yeah. Also, as a side note, if we have every character, we're gonna double up on aspects and classes. There's just not enough because this movie has a lot of cats in it.
There's so many fucking cats. There's so many.
There's so many cats.
God.
Gus. I think I had Gus down here as I could not settle on Gus. I think I had him down as something time. I played around with the idea of Bard of Time because he's like very, very like theater associated.
I'm gonna hit you with a hot take.
Ooh?
Granted, we just did a different light bound. I had Mage of Light in that I saw both Vriska and Rose's heavy like interests in stories and history, and immediately Gus jumped out at me.
How are you getting any of this from him? I have a hot take. Gus is short for asparagus, which is a plant that has about as much personality as this cat.
Excuse me, that monologue he did was perfect.
He's the boringest cat.
He had a very good story. Listen.
He is the most boring, yeah.
So Patrick Stewart,
boring,
or whatever the heck, could come in here and Patrick Stewart his way around stage and be like, "Oh, look at how fancy we are."
He's not Patrick Stewart, though. He's Sir Ian McKellen.
They're the same person! Alright. Mage of, what do you have?
Light.
Yeah, I had Mage of Light.
Alright, whatever. Alright, anyone want to talk about Taylor Swift Cat? I have a point about Taylor Swift Cat that's unrelated to class specting, but Taylor Swift Cat sort of descends, sings a song,
and then fucks off.
And then fucks off. The song's not even about her. She sings about McCavity. The one interesting thing about her, she's the only cat who wears shoes. Probably because Taylor Swift ain't gonna have her feet on film.
It's in the contract. It is.
Yeah.
Because if it happened.
Taylor Swift knows her audience. And, like, this movie is not powerful enough. Like, it's 1/10 as horny as it needs to be, but if Taylor Swift feet show up, it's gonna be a thing.
God, do you remember that point at the beginning of the movie where Rum Tum Tugger almost shoves Victoria's foot in his mouth?
Oh my god.
Oh gosh. Why did you bring that?
About it.
Why did you bring that to light?
Don't you remember that?
So before we continue, I have one final class spect.
Yeah?
This movie.
Oh my god.
Yep.
It's a thief of time.
Yeah!
Yeah! 100% agree.
God, alright. Speaking of thieves, alright, so buckle up.
Okay.
Who is Vriska? Who is Vriska?
Ooh.
I have the hottest take in the universe, so I will wait.
Alright, so I will start, because I have a expanding brain meme. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, Tiny Brain. One second, let me pull up my notes because I wrote this whole thing out, right? Okay, cool. All right, so Tiny Brain is like, all right, so Tiny Brain, McCavity, right? He's the villain. He steals things, but no, he's uncontroversial. He's boring. He ain't Vriska. All right. Next Brain is Victoria. Victoria literally inserts her into the plot to become the most important character from nothing. She's super controversial. She has parent issues. She has abandonment issues. So that's medium brain, right? Okay, cool. Actually, no, I'm going to bump that up because I think that that's actually a more compelling case than what I had for big brain, which was Grisabella. Because Grisabella, right? All right, so because Grisabella, so here's the thing, right? All the other cats hate her. Like, controversial in universe, but fan favorite. She has Memory, which is the best song and the only song anyone's going to care about, because people don't have enough taste to respect Skimbleshanks. So Grisabella, right? Big brain Vriska. Exploding brain. The director of this film is Vriska. Whoever stole the light from my life. I don't know what the hell they did to create this mess, but completely unnecessary, completely controversial, completely stole. It was all anyone could talk about for 3 weeks online.
Just like Vriska, Tom Hooper is the Vriska of cats.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I feel like that's the cold open, but also I don't want to reveal like the Vriska too soon.
I'll bleep it out. I'll bleep it out. I'm like, the cold open will be, boop, it's the Vriska of cats, and then we'll all just lose it. It'll be great.
Oh my god. Okay. I still have my hot take. That hasn't changed, although I do love Tom Hooper as Vriska.
Okay, then let me hit you with this.
Yeah, let's hear your Vriska.
Small brain, Bustifer Jones is the Vriska.
That's not small. That's like... That's either the biggest brain or the tiniest brain. I don't know.
Medium brain, McCavity is the Vriska of this movie. It's fine. Exploding brain, Skimbleshanks the railway cat is the Vriska of this movie.
No! You're wrong, actually!
Why? Because he's the best
better have
character.
evidence!
Is it because he's the best character and also did nothing wrong?
Exactly.
Okay, that's true. Skimbleshanks is the most unproblematic cat. He did nothing wrong.
And that's exactly why he's not Vriska. No one dislikes Skimbles. No one is like, oh, fuck that bitch.
And I hate that you've just stole my thunder here, because it's gonna sound like I'm just piggybacking off of your joke here, but this movie is the Vriska. How long did we talk about this online? How long did we have Cat's Course? We have resurrected Cat's Course. We are going to receive Cat's Course round 2.
So we're currently at 1 hour and 33 minutes on this recording. The movie is an hour and 50 minutes. We're going to have a podcast longer than the source material.
Have you considered that we're the Vriska of cats?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, the real Vriska was you all along.
I can't wait for that to be the big reveal in Homestuck, is that you were the Vriska all along.
The Vriska was the friends we made all along.
God.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I feel like... Alright. Plates are set. Come on, give us that home run or whatever sports ball.
Okay, I know I'm gonna have to do a lot to justify this. So
yeah, go for it.
So small brain, McCavity is the Vriska of cats.
Okay, fine.
That was my.
Mm-hmm.
I had my Vriska changed 5 different times. So
okay.
Next up, normal brain, Mungo Jerry and Rumple Teaser are the Vriska. Boring. I did have that at one point. Don't like it. Big brain, Tom Hooper is the Vriska of cats. Fucking exploding galaxy transcendent brain, Jenny Any Dot is the Vriska of cats.
Okay, that's it. That's it right there. I can agree with that.
Segment over. No, because Jenny Any Dots is the Gamzee of this film. Completely unnecessary.
Oh my god!
Completely unpresent.
Oh my gosh.
Completely unpresent.
Oh no.
Everyone just wishes she would go away, but she keeps coming back. She keeps having lines. Why is she here? Go away. I don't like you. No one likes you. Gamzee. I'm sorry.
But here's what I have to say.
Yes?
Here, she inserts herself. She knows what she wants, and she is actively taking things from others, and she's literally controlling these little mice and cockroaches. That's a very Vriska mind control power right there.
I know, that sounds more like Tavros to me.
She inserts herself into the plot just based on whatever, but similar to Vriska, is taken out by other properties for some time until she fucking wills herself back. That's Vriska!
She is also a dumbass.
Yeah, Jenny Any Dots is Vriska. Change my mind.
Oh my god.
I can't. You're too powerful.
I can't. Oh my god, this is too powerful. I can't contain this energy.
I'm very pumped about this. Oh my god, okay.
So, alright, so, you are Tom Hooper. You have, God, how much did this movie cost to make? That's one of the other things
I have the Wikipedia up. It
Yes.
cost between 80 million and 100 million.
All right.
It made only 75 million.
Oh. Alright, underappreciated. Alright, so you're Tom Hooper. You have you have $100 million to make Cat Stuck 2020. Okay, alright.
We're rebooting Cats
We're
a year
rebooting
later.
Cats. Alright, it's gonna be all flashes. Right, because we have the budget, so we're just gonna throw that money out the window. So it's all flashes. It'll be great. Okay, opening flash. They're like weird ass astronomy cats, right? So
Yeah.
it's
So-
like
Can I hit you with something here before we start?
yeah, hit me
Go
up.
for it.
So, the heavy side layer has big Skya energy.
Okay.
The cat's getting sent to the heavy side layer. It kind of like feels like, oh, they're getting reborn, and that's definitely some like god tier vibes here.
Oh yeah,
So
does.
I feel like the heavy side layer should definitely be considered when we're like thinking about this. Like maybe, and that being said, like I don't know if it's a game, because these are cats.
Yeah, no, I can play in this space. So I think like
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
there's like all right, so we have to have Victoria, contractual obligation. We can't get around it. So it's Victoria shows up. The first big flash is like, wow, what are all these cats doing? This is this is crazy. And it's revealed that the cats are like also astronomer cats, because that would fit in perfectly, right? They're already kind of like space witches, right? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. And they know that the meteors are coming because they're astronomer space cats. And so they are going to go through a ritual to send them all to the heavy side layer together as part of a big. So the first flash is like her getting like dumped out and then being like all sad, and then she discovers all these cats that are dancing about how they're all going to go to the heavy side layer, not realizing that the heavy side layer is actually going to be Skya. Right? Cool. All right. So that's our act one.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I can get behind that.
So we
yeah,
get-
yeah,
alright.
I can play with this.
Yeah, but all right. So McCavity comes. McCavity was being left out because no one likes McCavity. Grisabella was being left out because no one likes Grisabella, right?
Yeah.
And so like the whole first act is like they both want to go. God, all right. So I think we have too many cats. We need to murder Stuck early.
Oh, I would love this to be our reckoning. Like, we need to get these cats in, but not everybody makes it. Some perish in trying to get to the heavy side layer.
Yeah,
Let-
Gus just doesn't make it.
Yeah.
Let me
I'm
hit
sorry.
you with this. McCavity. No. Ooh, you hit me with Jenny Any Dots being the Vriska, the Gamzee of this. And I feel like
Is she gonna eat them?
Jenny Any Dots goes crazy and teams up with Buster for Jones, and they eat a bunch of the other cats.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh my god.
Tears. All right. Okay.
And so like at the last minute, like they're gonna like cycle in. So they're going crazy, right? At the last minute, like they're gonna close the circle, but Victoria's in, and Victoria feels bad, and so Victoria's like, no, we have to include Grisabella. You have to take pity on Grisabella. You have to get her into the session. So it goes from like I don't know, Munkus Trap's probably the first one, right? Okay, cool, that's
Yeah.
fine. Right. So it's like Munkus Trap to Mr. Mistopheles to like that. And so she tries to get Grisabella in place, but while that's happening, Jenny Any Dots is going crazy. And McCavity, like, steals the connection or something. And so as a result, a whole bunch of them get like dropped off.
Huh.
Okay.
So my dream session would be Victoria, Mr. Mistopheles, Jenny Anydots, Grisabella, Skimbleshanks, McCavity, and Old Dude. Maybe one more.
I feel like because of his relevance in the movie, Musketrap probably would have made an effort, but I do like the idea of like self-sacrifice for the group for Musketrap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
So here is, I think, what we should, like, entry points, entry conditions. McCavity is already God tier.
Okay.
Oh. So McCavity has been awake on Durst this whole time?
Yes.
Oh, he could have. Yeah, I can see that. How?
Oh, and so he wants Skya for himself. He wants to be the god of the next universe.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants to be the one. So he can't kill everybody right off the bat because that's no bueno. But he still wants to run the session. So he's using his god tier powers to try to get everyone in so that he can become the god of the next universe because he's been awake this whole time.
Oh,
Correct.
hell yeah.
And this is the hottest take that I have been sitting on ever since we started. Like, I have a few things for
Okay.
this I like.
Okay.
Is that this is a scratch session. It's already been scratched. Because the cast of the original Broadway film are the original cast.
Oh my god!
And
Oh, that's good shit.
they're coming. And so we have kind of like a mimicry of the alpha session, kind of, because McCavity has been like, all right, I'm gonna go do this. I've already got here. I'm already all the levels, everything. But the session's empty. Everything's already dead. What the hell? And then in comes in the original Rum Tug Tugger.
I'm losing my mind. This is great.
I know. Other way around. McCavity was in the session, right?
Oh, did he escape from the
He was
scratch
in the first
session?
session. So the first session goes really horribly wrong somehow. It's a null session or a void session or something, right? No, because they didn't have Victoria.
Exactly.
So Victoria was essential, right? So they didn't have Victoria. So McCavity scratches the session. So there's the real McCavity, right? So here's the big twist, right? McCavity on the planet, like real life McCavity, gets left behind, right? They succeed in excluding McCavity, only to discover there's another McCavity. And so that's like the big third act twist, is like things are going wrong. What's going wrong? Oh, there's these two cherubs. What are the cherubs doing here? I thought Mungle Jerry and Rumpelcheeser died. How are they? Oh, they did die. It's their ghost selves. They managed to and there's something else pulling the strings. Someone is working with Durst. Oh, it's McCavity. So like the big climactic reveal of like the big cascade is McCavity revealing that he's here from the alpha session.
Oh, I have the
He's been
same
here all
idea.
along, and he's taking control. Yes, what's up?
I had the same idea that McCavity was from the original session and escaped. Oh, that's so good.
Ooh.
And that's why he's already god tier.
Yeah! Oh, I'm so into
Okay.
this.
I'm into this. We vibing.
We're so
super vibing.
vibing.
All right, legit. So that leaves off a bunch of our cats get left behind. McCavity's like the big thing. God, I mean this already is shaping up to be like a solid movie. What's our act 6, right? Because they go on. I guess they defeat McCavity, who's teamed up with all of Durst.
I feel like so this is something that might be a little controversial, but we have OG McCavity and new McCavity. And OG McCavity is a Lord of Void.
Ooh, that's real good. Oh, that's real good.
Wait.
So that's like so new McCavity has like a heel turn.
I
Yeah.
have an idea.
Ooh.
What if, okay, we have our muse already as Old Deuteronomy. What if we have a similar reveal where Old Deuteronomy is also from the original session?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's why he's here. That's why he knows so much.
Oh my
That's why he
God.
can send people to the Heaviside lair, because he's been here the whole time. He's a muse of like
God.
Yeah, exactly. So there's
He's
like
been here the whole time.
she's already there.
Hold
Yeah.
up.
So
What is the exact opposite of blood? Can we... Okay, breath. I don't know if I can argue a Lord of Breath.
no, but I like
cavity.
that. No, that works out. That works out really well because Victoria is our protag. So Victoria is already in opposition to that.
Ooh, okay.
So that's like complementary aspects. So she's the sylph of breath. She's here to heal the session by changing it. So there was something horribly flawed with the alpha session. There was no fourth wall or something. I mean, Homestuck does meta. Cats is super meta. So the original Cats, they sing at the audience. There's no fourth wall.
Oh my god.
So maybe what's happening is there's like this meta reveal where they're like, oh, the reason the first session failed is because they all reached ultimate self too early or something. I don't.
Shit.
Ooh,
Yes.
okay, I got it.
Okay.
So the fourth wall in Homestuck is like an actual physical object, but it's also representative of the author. The original cast of Cats, the original session.
Oh no, I don't like where this. I know where this is
didn't
going.
have an
Don't like
author.
where it's going.
It didn't have an author. It kind of was a session. It wasn't important. It wasn't relevant. It wasn't necessary.
God, I hate you so much. This is so good. Go on.
And because it missed all three of those pillars, nobody saw it. Nobody has seen
Yeah.
it. Nobody knows the original cast. Nobody has heard any stories about them.
The thing that changes is Tom Hooper comes in. Tom Hooper is the difference in the beta section. So the first one, no fourth wall, no relevance, no essentiality. Tom Hooper, our Vriska, our fucking batshit thing, comes in. That's the big fifth act reveal. Is Tom Hooper's here, he's real, he's here to help them write a new universe, which is a new musical, which is a Cats that doesn't suck. That's what Sky is holding. That's what the creation is. The Frog is actually a musical that's not complete ass. That's Cats. That's Catstuck 2020.
Before we continue, does Tom Hooper have a persona?
Yes
it's
and
Tom
no.
Hooper.
He
It's Tom-
does
yeah,
have
no, it's
one,
Tom's-
but you will see his naked little boy body.
No, he's wearing one of the Cats outfits. So everyone
my
thinks he's a
God.
Cats, but he's actually just wearing one of the outfits from the OG musical.
I have a very, very hot take. It's probably lukewarm,
Yes.
actually.
Okay.
Yeah, go.
Instead of our alpha session, the session that failed, being the musical, you
Yes.
said, Minty, that it was a session that did not exist, essentially. Nobody saw it. There was no author. It was
Yeah.
the Spielberg animated movie that never got produced.
Oh
Yeah!
no.
But I don't know enough about that, but I can dig.
I know a lot about it. I know the storied history of Cats movie production. I know a lot.
I can fuck with this.
So you're saying that the original one, the problem was Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg was the Jack Noir. He was the tumor that infected the session.
That's the cold open. That
Oh, God.
that has to be it.
All right, here we go. I think that's it. I think that's our session.
Oh my God.
So they, with the power of the director, defeat Steven Spielberg and write a better musical.
Oh my God.
This is
I would watch this.
this is incredible. This is everything I've ever wanted.
This is all the best parts of Cats and all the best parts of Homestuck in a perfect form.
Oh,
It's a good thing.
I
It's a good-
unironically love Cats, and I unironically love this.
This is so good. Oh,
This is exactly why no one's gonna give me $100 million.
Please, Universal Pictures, give us $100 million.
Come on! It can't be worse than the last one.
What are you gonna do? You think this is gonna be worse than the last one?
Oh my God! I still unironically like this movie. I still really liked it.
I'm so glad this movie exists, unironically. I've watched it 10 times, I'll watch it 10 more.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of coming on to it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, alright.
Who's pairing with who? Last session, guys. Relationships.
Okay, I have notes.
Go. Unload on us.
Unload. Okay. I don't actually have that many. Old Deuteronomy and McCavity, obviously Pitch.
Oh yeah, Defs.
Is
Yeah.
is he even worth enough to be Pitch?
I kind of like it because again, McCavity in this session, there's like old McCavity. Like McCavity is a major player. He's the main villain of the second act. He's Lord English in this.
So let me hit you with this then. McCavity and Old Deuteronomy vacillating between Pale and Pitch.
Oh, like Old Deuteronomy is like, I can pacify you. I can fix you, but no.
Ooh, I can get behind that.
God.
Or Old Deuteronomy wants it to be Pale, but oh no. I don't know. Yeah, I'm down with whatever.
It was Pale, and then it wasn't. It just...
Pale to Pitch.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, there was Pale in the previous session, but like now they're just done. Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, like they were pale, and then McCavity crossed that moral event horizon, and now it's just mutual, like, burnt ground. I hate you.
Yeah. So in the movie, the movie's fucking compact. So they made Victoria pair up with Mr. Mistopheles.
I have several possible Mr. Mistopheles red pairings. I had Mr. Mistopheles and Muscatrap as red.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the movie,
That goes
I
without
got
saying.
vibes. But, however, if we do play to musical, I do think Mr. Mistopheles and Rum Tum Tugger had a thing in the
I can
past.
dig that. Can I hit y'all with one?
Yeah, hit us.
So, Skimbleshanks flush with every single train in the world.
You know what? Valid.
Is this land? So normally they do lands. I skipped lands because like we don't know anything about these characters. But
There's
Skimbleshanks
so
is
fucking many
We
cats.
don't have very much.
Skimbleshanks is the land of trains and something,
The land of trains and...
or the land of steam. No,
Oh.
Skimbleshanks is the land of
Shit,
steam, right?
yeah.
Because machinery is a time bound or really related to machinery, right? So it's the land of steam
Yeah.
and I don't know, tap dancing.
Oh, what are those?
Steam and
those-
rhythm?
Yeah!
Oh my God! Yes,
That's a time-bound land! That's such a good time-bound land! I can picture it
That's
now!
really good.
That's solid.
Oh my God!
God, all right.
Perfect.
The whole thing is just like a big steam power clock with train dungeons that are just giant, like, I can see it now. It's really solid.
Oh, that's
That's
so
really
cool.
God, all right. Skimbleshanks, Pale, Jenny Anydots as a way of pacifying.
Yeah, I could listen. Jenny Anydots still Vriska to me. She needs someone to pacify her. Oh my God! Is
No, I got this-
Skimbleshanks
I got one.
Kanaya?
No, because that would imply, and actually I like this because as #1 auspice apologist, oh my God, that quadrant never gets enough.
Yeah.
But Jenny Anydots pitch with Victoria because she's crazy, and I think that would be drama. And the only way to the resolution of her arc is being in a happy, healthy mate like auspice with God. Who's going to intervene on this? Grisabella?
Okay.
Okay, I'll raise you this. Now, in Jenny Anydots' song, Muscatrap was a pretty big player, kind of guiding around Victoria and everything. He was right beside both Victoria and Jenny Anydots.
Oh yeah,
I think
that's good.
Muscatrap is the auspicious.
Okay.
Yes, 100%. I'm here for it.
Let me hit y'all with this. So,
Mm-hmm.
Grisabella is Pitch with Monk's Trap, right?
Yeah.
But Victoria is the Ostispice. Ostispice?
Victoria auspice into a more healthy Pale. I think Grisabella Pale with Monk's Trap would be real good.
But like it requires like Victoria as the Ostispice. Osteoporosis.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, she's the so that's like the big romantic arc, because like Lord knows the straights need a romantic arc that's straight. So like this is the only way we're gonna get $100 million is by having a straight ship, and this is gonna be the one.
Also, Victoria's trans. She has to be.
Yes.
Yes. Oh yeah, defs.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the whole thing has got big trans energy with wanting to go to the to become.
Heaviside layer.
I think the
bigger
movie
reports.
exact quote is like, "You're go to become your most ideal self." Is I think how it's even phrased in the movie.
Oh, hell yeah. The entire
Yeah,
movie is a
exactly.
celebration of uniqueness, and there is a lot of text in picking a special, unique name for yourself that fits you and your talent, you and your true self.
Hold
Yes,
up. Are
perfect.
we saying that the author of this play may or may not have been a closet trans woman?
I don't want to speculate on Tim Cooper, but I can say
No.
that
Not the
both
director.
that
The person who originally wrote Cats.
Andrew Lloyd Webber?
Andrew
I
Lloyd
mean,
Webber.
hey, does Phantom of the Opera have does Phantom of the Opera have trans vibes? I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Arguably.
No, maybe no.
It was adapted from, like, I wouldn't, because Phantom of the Opera is an adaptation. There's only so much you can do. There's only so much trans you can put into it.
God.
Hiding your face behind a mask because it's been disfigured and you hate it?
Shit.
I'm not sure if they're trans, but I do know that we are all trans on this blessed day. Thank you for listening.
On the blessed, the Jellicle choice
the Jellicle day.
Thank
On
you.
this blessed day of the Jellicle choice, on this beautiful Jellicle day. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for having us.
Thank you very much for this first, and if we did our jobs right, the last guest episode, because we went so hard on Cats, it destroyed Bucky and Clever, revoked the privileges of guests.
They're gonna be like, that was a terrible idea. What were we thinking? God, y'all got any shout-outs? Anything to plug?
Read Judgment Day on AO3. It's my sort of like trans June Egbert story that I'm writing.
Hell yeah. Support your local food banks.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, this has been Will at Homestuck. I think we've answered that, in fact, Homestuck does cats. Thank y'all for listening.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for listening. If you like what you heard, follow @WillAtHomestuck on Twitter. We'd also appreciate it if you threw the crew some money at Patreon or Coffee, both of which are @WillAtHomestuck. Join us next episode when we return control of the narrative to Bucky and Clever for a look at Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.